As always, I would advise you to pay attention to this video, and rightfully so. Our topic for today is going to be treat your attention like gold. Treat your attention like gold. And you guys always know, I'll repeat it to you over and over again over the course of my teachings, that the moment you begin to pay attention to anything, it will begin to blossom. Now, I always say things like the attention is the highest currency, or the attention is the only currency. In fact, I will emphasize that your attention is the only currency. It's the only currency in the sense where unless anything grabs your attention, you cannot move in line with it. Unless anything grabs your attention, you cannot move in line with it. This is why I always say things like all these big businesses that you see, they have to be able to catch your attention first before you can even make any purchasing decision. So for you to make a purchasing decision, they have to be able to grab your attention long enough for it to now resonate in your heart. They have planted a seed in your heart because you paid attention to them, and then you can now buy from them. So even your money, your cash, is subject to their grabbing of your attention. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm sure you understand. So with this knowledge, then it really calls for great introspection, a really serious introspection about your life as to what you are paying attention to. Do you understand? It is very important that you treat your attention even worth more than gold, because even the word gold, or even the element gold, could not even come to your mind if you didn't even pay attention to it in the first place. Your attention is the only currency. And this is why anybody from any level, any middle class, middle class, lower class, you can be able to change your life into anything simply by paying attention. Simply by paying attention. And it is so important that if you look at the world around you today, right from the times of old, they have always been sharing news. If you check out the news that they share on the media, it's mostly bad news. It's mostly the things that put you in fear. Because are you trying to tell me that in a country that good things don't happen? Of course, good things happen, but that's not what interests people. Imagine that. What interests people is what makes them scared. That's the normal disposition of every human being. What interests them is what makes them scared. So they use fear and they impute it in your attention. They share scary news. Oh, people died today, this, and they maybe just mention the good ones, but they emphasize the bad ones. And then so fear grows in your heart, and you pay attention to that. That is your normal, natural disposition as a normal human being, by paying attention to scary things. So when you do that, what do you think happens to you? You are limited. You're limited in the sense where you can't fully express yourself anymore, because you are limited by what? By fear. That aside, if you treat your attention like gold, do you think you're going to pay attention to everything that you see? No. Why? Because it's not necessary. You make things necessary by paying attention to them. You understand that the observer and the observed are one, and you cannot observe anything save through your attention. You have to use your attention to observe anything. And so when you observe something, you become one with it at that particular moment. And then your constant and perpetual observation of that particular thing makes you become one with it more and more and more. Like I've given the example before, your name as an individual. How do you even get your name? Your parents gave you a name, and they repeated that name to you over and over and over and over and over again. So maybe when they spank you, they'll say, "Oh, Isaac." And then maybe when they call your name to buy you something, "Oh, take Isaac." Or maybe when they call your name to give you an award in school, Isaac. Or maybe when they're calling you to come and buy something, Isaac. They always repeat that name to you. And that repetition, entering your attention, makes you become one with the name. So even if a stranger will shout Isaac, I will turn to a stranger that I never even knew existed, because of how much I've become united with that particular name called Isaac. It's the same thing with anything. Now, check your life now. What are the things you are paying attention to? Most times, as a normal average human being, it's a lot of things. You have this, you have this, you have this, you have this, you have this. But if you check out the people you idolize, the celebrities you look up to, the sports stars you look up to, the comedians you look up to, they are known for something. What are they known for? The sports stars are known for what? Their sports. Michael Jordan, basketball. Serena Williams, long tennis. Cristiano Ronaldo, soccer, football. All these people, you know them because they are known for one thing only. Now I want to ask you a question. If they were scrolling on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, like the way the average person is scrolling on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, do you think they would have been what they are today? Exactly. They understand that for them to be exceptional in something, they have to be the exception. And in being the exception, you focus your mind on just that particular thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, just like your name. And so what happens is that you now begin to move in line with it. The average person doesn't do that. That's why the average person stays average. Do you understand? And that's like 99% of the population, if not even more than 99% of the population. It's less than 1% of the population that are actually living a wonderful life. On paper, obviously. Between your internal system and how you feel, that's left to you. But in realizing that dream you want to realize as an individual, you have to understand how you should treat your attention. Treat your attention like gold. In fact, your attention is even worth more than gold. Do you now see how much your attention is so important? Because I've always said this in most of my videos. Energy flows where attention goes. Energy is the ability to do work. I am energy that took on form. Every single thing that you see is energy that takes on form. Even this cup is energy because the person first thought of it. It was a thought first. Can you hold a thought with your hands? You can't hold a thought. But that thought was able to become a thing that you can now see and you can now touch with your physical hands. A thought that you were not able to see, you can now see it now in the form of a thing. It is energy that took on form. It is mind that became physical matter. Do you understand? So, for all these things to happen, it has its roots in paying attention. And if energy flows where attention goes, when you pay attention, you are paying energy, you are paying life, you are paying power. And power is the ability to do work. Power is the ability to manifest things. So this is why it's very important for you to know how to focus your mind. I'm not going to say that the media is after you and they are trying to control you. Sure, obviously they are trying to control you, but I'm not going to give them the power because that's going to be what? A false idol. So instead of you trying to say, oh, it's the media's fault, oh, the government, oh, they're just trying to control us. Sure, everybody is trying to control you. You understand? But you have to also know how to control yourself too. What do you want out of life? Do you understand? This is you retaining your power back as a normal human being and then moving in line with that. And it's a normal thing that you should do as a normal human being. So you need to understand how you should control your attention. You need to recognize how important your attention is. You need to begin to see how wonderful it is when you begin to take attention from all the rubbish that you have paid attention to and only focus on that dream you want to see, on that wonderful perspective. That's the only thing you need to know how to do. And understand that it takes time. There's no instantaneous object. Things take time. So starting from the moment at which you start paying attention to it, there's an unfolding of events in line with that particular thing, and then it grows from there. It's a simple thing. But it's so simple, it's common sense, but sometimes we get so used, we have been so used to that ability of that lifestyle of living a life where you are just focused on all these things that when you now begin to live a life like this, it's hard, it's strange, it's new, and it's not something that you are used to, but that's how you learn and you get used to it. So for those of you that would really love to control your attention in this distracted world, you can choose to work with me. This is basically what I teach one-on-one, and then I'll teach you how you can retain your power back and focus it on that lifestyle you want to focus it on. And I'm going to give you common sense. It's not magic. You understand? It's magic to people who don't know how it works. But it's common sense when you understand that energy flows where attention goes, and all you have to do is focus your attention on that life you want to realize. And then from there, starting from that point at which you focus, an unfolding of events will begin to occur, and it occurs in the realm of time. And the ability and the point or the degree to which you are completely one with this particular thing is the point at which it now begins to unfold in your life. So understand that your attention is key. Understand that you have to learn how to control your mind and to control your attention, and for you to create the life that matters to you, because your mind creates matter, you have to know how to focus your mind rightly as compared to every other person. So this is what I teach. If you would like to work with me, message me and we'll get to work. Thank you for listening, and pay attention to the right things today.